We're ready for ball one now. Everyone's just getting into their positions. Alright, let's get this second day of this game underway. Here we go. Ball one. Comes into bowl. And it's a full ball and he leaves it alone. It was a half volley outside the off stump. He could have tried to play a cover drive, but he chose not to when he left it alone, tucking his bat behind him. There's two slips. Gully. Point. Cover. Short-ish. Mid-off. Mid-on, square leg, straight hit. Comes into bowl. And it's a full ball, and he tries to play a squirty sort of cover drive, and it just blobbles out harmlessly for a dot ball, and that's the end of the over. It's 2 for 53. So, this will be the 24th over of the innings. Alright, here we go. New bowler, new over. Let's begin. Comes into bowl. And it's short and it's wide and it's cut and it gets through the gap between the point and the gully, and they come back for two. They get two there. There's two slips, gully, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, deep fine leg. Very orthodox field. And it's short and it's cut, but it goes straight to the gully for a dot ball. The temperature is getting a little bit warmer. It's still just as humid, and the sky is getting much more overcast. Comes into bowl, and it's a wide. Was short of a length. It moved a little bit, I think, or maybe it moved off the seam, and the wicketkeeper had to lunge to take it. We're probably not going to be seeing a lot of action for the first half an hour as everyone gets back into the rhythm. Comes into bowl, and it's full, and he clamps down on it, and it dribbles to mid-on. So the batsmen will obviously want to get back into their innings by being very watchful and careful for a while, and the bowlers obviously will just be trying to get into the rhythm of their bowling. So we probably won't be seeing anything for a while. Comes into bowl. And it's a full toss, very wide, and it's played out into the offside near the point region. They come back for two. Are they going to go for a third on the arm? No, they do not. So that ball was wide. It's a full toss, so that if when the batsman stretched out to play a cover drive, he was able to hit it in the lower end of his bat, and it squirted again through that gap between gully and point. That backward point region. Comes into bowl and leaves it alone. That ball came back into the right-hander, but he was watchful and made sure that it wasn't at risk of getting clipping the off stump. Comes into bowl. And it's a full toss again, and this time it is driven straight to the cover fielders for a dot ball. A good over there for Mernda, 5 runs off it. It's 2 for 58. Okay, the bowlers continue to bowl at the Diamond Creek trail end. Comes into bowl. Left alone, half volley outside the off stump. sticking to 2 slips and a gully with a very large gap in the backward point region. Comes into bowl. Whoa! Wow! Wow! Bold! It was short of a length, and it came back in at the right-hander, and it was an inside edge onto the stumps. Very well bowled there. Was able to get the ball to move off the seam. It seemed as if, because the batsman tried to play it comfortably as a back foot shot, but it just got into him too much, more than he was expecting. And so yeah, he was looking rather comfortable for a while, but another wicket has fallen. So now things get a bit interesting, because there's only 2 ways that this game could come up with a result, and one of them is if Diamond Creek are able to take the full 10 wickets of Mernda and then chase down whatever they need to chase down. So now that they've got 3 wickets, now things can get interesting. And if we're only in the 3rd over, or effectively the 3rd over of the day, so there's still massive amounts of time. So getting 7 wickets, and certainly calculable. Ooh, bringing in a close fielder, a silly mid-off. Is that silly mid-off staying there? I hope so. That's very nice. I like that aggression. Alright, comes into bowl. Oh, it's a full ball, and he has to stretch in order to smother the ball. So the new field is slip, 2 slips, a gully, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and a silly mid-off. Comes into bowl. Oh, oh. So the ball was down the leg side, and the batsman tried to play a leg glance, but it was a thick leading edge, and it popped up in the air, and it would have been caught by a silly point. So the silly mid-off was near it, but was still far too far away to possibly catch that ball. Oh, it's an inside edge, and it goes down to the fine leg region, and the square leg has to chase it down. They got 1, and they'll just stick to 1. So 3 balls this new batsman has faced, and one of them was a reasonably confident block shot. The second one was an edge, and the third one was an edge. So not a good start, but let's see. 1 ball to go in the over. Comes into bowl and leaves it alone outside the off stump. Dot ball. End of the over. It's 59 for 3. The new batsman facing the bowler from the Elizabeth Street end comes into bowl. Whoa! Wow! The ball was full at about middle stump. He tried to play a leg glance, and it was an edge onto his pads, and the ball dribbled out, fielded by square leg for a dot ball. Diamond Creek players are very vocal, trying to excite themselves, trying to pressure the batsman. Comes in the bowl. Ooh! A half volley outside the off stump. Tried to play some sort of drive shot, but his body weight was all out of position, and so he got very bad contact on it, and it bounced back, and it was fielded by the bowler. Comes into bowl, and it's driven. That's much better driven, and they're going to... No, they're not going to go for a run there. So that was much better. He actually stepped into that ball, and he got his body weight through the shot. So slowly but surely figuring out everything, getting all the body to work the way it needs to bat. Comes into bowl. Oh, it's a full toss, and it goes through the backward point region, and 2, and there's sliding to stop it, 3, and they'll get 3 there. That was a very bad ball, and once again scoring runs through that backward point region. I don't understand it. This is obviously Coventry Oval. The short boundaries are straight, which means if you're ever going to have fielders to save runs, to save the boundary, it's going to be square, it's going to be fine leg and third man. Comes into ball, leaves it alone. Ball came into the right-hander, but he was very watchful. So scoring runs in front of the wicket is going to be very difficult because of the wide boundary square. So the best way to score runs are through the fine leg, backward square leg, backward point regions. Comes into bowl. And well defended there. Alright, end of the over. It's 3 for 62. Comes into bowl. And it's a wide ball, but the umpire leaves it alone. So dot ball there. We're into the 27th over. And it's the 5th over of the day. Comes into bowl. And again it's very wide, left alone by the batsman, and the umpire leaves it alone as well. Comes into bowl. Oh, it was a half volley and it was driven, but didn't get a lot of meat onto it, so it just dribbled to the point fielder for a dot ball. Comes into bowl. Ooh, again defended reasonably confidently, but he was late. He's been late on most of his shots. He seems to only decide to shift his body into position and play the shot at the very last moment, and that seems to be, the ball seems to be catching up on him. Comes in the bowl, and it's driven thick inside edge, and the ball comes back at the bowler, and the fielder at mid-on secures it. So the batsman has been willing to play shots, but hasn't been able to actually hit the middle of the bat. There have been lots of skews and edges and whatnot. Comes in the bowl, and it's very wide, and the umpire once again leaves it alone, so we've got a maiden. It's still 62 for 3. Coming in from the Elizabeth Street end, it's attempted to play a late cut, and it goes to the point fielder for a dot ball. So if this bowler keeps bowling short of a length, and the batsman keeps, this is the batsman of course that was here overnight, he keeps trying to play late cuts, then there has to be, something has to be done about this. Can't just continue forever. And again a late cut, and they're going for a quick single, and they're going to make it. Very well run there. The gap in about the short point region, which is where no one's there, because point is a little bit deep, about 5 meters back, and they've decided to shift. Now gully has moved over to be a more squarish position, and point has gone far back. Comes into bowl, and they're going to go for a quick single, and they make it. Well batted there. So here is the point fielder. So he's about 10 meters or maybe 15 meters away from orthodox position, and he is in a backward position, so backward point, deepish backward point. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. It was a bit wide, left alone, and I was talking about the gully fielder, and the gully fielder's moved a couple of meters to his right, and so he's not a normal gully, he's now a short backward point, a silly backward point maybe. Comes into bowl, and it's driven, and they were thinking about a run, but it goes straight to the cover fielder, and so they wisely decide not to go for the run. Suddenly, the batsman looking for quick singles, thinking about how to score, but we've only been back here for about half an hour, a bit less, maybe 20-25 minutes, and already the batsmen are thinking about how to score more runs. Comes in the bowl. Now it's a full toss, but it harmlessly dribbles to the mid-off fielder for a dot ball, which means the score is now 64 for 3. Comes in the bowl, and it's a wild whoosh. It was wide outside the off stump, and instead of going for a cover drive, he went for a sort of cow's cornery slog shot over the head of mid-off, and he completely missed the ball. Comes in the bowl, and it's an edge, and it goes through the gap in the slips, and there's no third man, and they're going to go for a second, and they make it. Wow, exciting stuff here. With no third man in place, the fielder at slip and gully had to chase the ball, and very good running from the batsman who is currently at the striker's end to judge that there was a second run on the throw, and he took the risk and he went for it, and it paid off because he's got that extra run to his name. Comes into bowl, left alone, short of a length outside the off stump. So we've obviously got two things to measure. First of all, the overall score, and obviously that's the score of today, to see how well Mernda are batting. Comes into bowl, and defended. Fielded by cover. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. He stepped into the ball, and then he decided to pull out, so he tucked his bat behind his body. We've got a 7-2 field right now. 2 slips, gully, 3 in the. Oh no, wait! The fielder's gone down to deep, mid, short, no, long, mid off. Comes into bowl, and it's driven. Oh dear, driven it straight to the cover fielder and called run, and then had to correct it by saying stop because the cover fielder was right there and had a ping at the non-striker stumps. It's 66 for 3. Continuing to bowl from the Elizabeth Street end. This is the 30th over in total. Comes into bowl, and it's wide down the leg side. Dot ball. This is the 8th over we've seen today, and the score has advanced from 53 to 66, so 13 runs off 7 overs effectively, but 6.2 overs in reality. Comes into bowl and defended. Was again late to the shot. He did not have his front foot planted in the ground when ball made contact with bat. Instead, he was still walking into the shot at the time. So once again, late in moving his body towards the ball and playing the shot. Comes into bowl, and oh dear, it was down the leg side, but he'd stepped down the pitch too early, which meant all his body weight was in the wrong area, and so he could not make contact with the ball, and he had a wild swing, and he missed, and the keeper got it, and it was a dot ball. Comes into bowl, and it's driven, and the fielder at cover collects it. Comes in the bowl. Oh, it's a full toss. And it's just a 1. fielded by the fielder at deep backward point. So there are two fielders outside the circle right now, a fine leg on the fence and a deep backward point who is about 4/5 of the way to the fence. Comes into bowl and it's driven back to the bowler for a dot ball into the over. 67 for free. Despite the very aggressive and proactive batting of Mernda, they still aren't scoring that much. Just 2 runs and over so far. Comes into bowl, leaves it alone outside the off stump. It's really difficult to measure because, I mean, the ball will be old now. First of all because it's over 30 overs old. Secondly because of the rain damage, and now it's being hit around again. So it will be old. Comes into bowl. Left alone outside the off stump. But Coventry Oval is one of the nicest grounds in the whole Diamond Valley region. It has this lovely artificial turf which will keep the ball reasonably intact despite gliding across it. So comes into bowl and he plays a late cut and it goes through the backward point region and the point fielder dives and saves it, so just the one. So even when the ball goes across the grass, that won't damage it. It's going to be through the contact of the bat that will damage it. Second of all, the Coventry Oval is very, very wide, square of the wicket, which means you're only going to be able to hit boundaries and sixes straight of a wicket, straight down the ground. Comes into bowl and defended front foot defence, which means that the ball should stay intact reasonably well. And so even though the ball is 30 overs old, it should still provide the bowlers with at least some movement off the seam, if not a little bit of swing. Comes into bowl and defended, fielded there in the covers for a dot ball. So it's hard to say what, as the ball gets older, as this innings progresses, exactly who's going to have the advantage. Because the ball should, there are factors in place that should make the ball less good and the ball should stay good. Comes into bowl and defended, back to the bowler for a dot ball. End of the over, 68 for free. Continuing to bowl from the Elizabeth Street end. And defended. It was a short of a length, came back at the batsman, tried to front foot defence, but in the end played it halfway off the between back foot and front foot, and it was the inside edge into the torso, and it dribbled out, be fielded by cover. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. Comes into bowl. Oh, it's an edge and it goes. Whoa. It was foolish, maybe short of. It was short of a half volley. Tried to play a pushy block shot, thick outside edge. Looked like it was going to go down to third man in the gap between second slip and gully, but second slip diving catch to save it. Amazing fielding there. And defended block shot straight to cover for a dot ball. This is the 10th over of the resumption of play today, and it's the 32nd over of the innings overall. Oh, they're taking out the second slip. Comes into bowl and defended and tried to work it down to the backward point region for a dot ball, but went straight to gully. Okay, so what's the field now? So now there are 3 fielders on the leg side. Fine leg, 2 saving 1. 3 fielders on the offside saving one, then there's slip, gully, and then the backward point. So and two slip fielders at point, regulation point, and then a deep backward point. Comes into bowl and plays the cut and goes straight to the deep backward point for a single. They've been working in singles so far. It's 69 for 3. Comes into bowl. Oh! And given out. Well, that looked very good. It was full at about off stump. He stepped over trying to play a leg glance into the gap at mid wicket. It missed, it hit his stumps, and so the umpire was very fair in his decision to give that out. The only question would have been hitting him outside the line, because there's no way that the ball would have gone over, and it wouldn't have missed off stump. He certainly didn't hit it. So the only question would be, did his step forward get him outside of the line of the off stump? And if it didn't, then there's no way that could have not been out. This pitch does not have enough bounce in it that you would expect the ball to go over. And the ball was going angling into the stumps. There was no sense that the ball was going away from the right-hander. So the 4th wicket has fallen. Diamond Creek should be very excited about the position they've worked themselves into. They've kept the run rate down. They've gotten 2 extra wickets, and just 69 runs on the board. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. Comes into bowl, and wild whoosh! It was a wide Yorker. Basically, it landed on the popping crease. The batsman tried to play it as a full toss by playing a wild, expansive cover drive, and missed it. So in the end, a big, expansive cover drive came to nothing. No contact. Comes into bowl. No, inside edge into the torso. The ball. So the first wicket fell at 2, then 39, and then today the wicket fell at 58 and 69. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. The Diamond Creek players are very excited, lots of chatting. Who can blame them? They should be very hopeful about what they can do today. Comes into bowl. Oh, came back in at the right hand to inside edge into the pad. A wicket maiden. It's 69 for 4. Comes into bowl, and it's a cover drive and straight to mid-off for a dot ball. There doesn't appear to be anyone in the crowd today. No one sitting around watching the game. I can't see anyone. We had a lot of people last week, and Williams is changing the field. Mid-off is going a bit deeper, and so now there's an extra... Okay. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. That was a faster ball that moved into the right-hander. Okay, so slip, gully, deep backward point, forward point, or cover point maybe. A short-ish extra cover, a deep-ish mid-off, orthodox mid-on, square leg, and then a deep fine leg on the fence. Very interesting stuff from Williams. I'm very pleased. Comes into bowl. And it's an expansive drive, and it goes over the head of the short cover, maybe through the gap, and the cover point fielder has to chase it down, and then the mid-off fielder. And so they're going to get an extra run. 2 there. Or is it 3? I think it was 3. So, like I said, I was worried that if Williams thought there was no possibility of there being a result, that he would have shut up shop, put a very orthodox field of everyone saving one around the ring. Comes into bowl and defended off the back foot. That would have just meant that there was no way of scoring runs through the stroke play through the in front of the wicket. Would have slowed down the run rate. There was no possibility of taking any wickets, and the game would have just pitted out to a draw. But he is being very proactive in trying to find the right field that will take wickets. Very exciting. Comes into bowl, and it's a leg glance, and it goes. Then they get no, they get none. That is some bad running. So the ball was full at the stumps. The batsman stepped over into the ball and played a leg glance into the vacant mid-wicket region, and the square leg fielder and both the mid-on fielder had to converge to cut it off, and the batsman didn't think that they had an opportunity to get the run. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. It's 72 for 4. And we're just waiting on something. I don't know what the umpire was checking. Comes into bowl and defended. Again, not really getting into position fast enough, and playing the ball very late. Fielded by cover. Comes into bowl, and it's a wild ball. What a catch! Oh, we caught that one on film. We didn't catch the one from last week, but we caught this one. What an amazing catch. He was able to step backwards a few steps and then launch himself by jumping backwards, stretching out his arms and plucking the ball over his head. That is an amazing catch. I cannot tell you how difficult that one is to perform, especially at the spur of the moment. It's a bit different at training when you know the ball, where the ball is going to be, and you know you have to stretch out and jump backwards. But to just do it impromptu like that in the actual game of cricket is very difficult. So the batsman, I didn't even mention the shot. The shot, it was a very wide ball, half volley, wide outside the off stump, basically at the line, and he decided to play a very expansive cover drive, and it didn't pay off because instead of either launching it or stroking it, he scooped it, and so he just got too much underneath the ball and not enough muscle to get it over the heads of the fielders. So that's what happens really when you are playing the ball late. So when you don't have your timing right, when you aren't seeing the ball fast enough, you're not able to plant your feet on the ground firmly and allow your body weight to guide your shot, and so you've got enough muscle to hit the ball as hard as you need to be. If you're seeing the ball late and you're just moving your arms without your body weight backing you up, you're more likely to just scoop it in the air because you don't have enough strength to get the ball further than that. Comes into bowl, the new batsman. That's why it's always very dangerous to play shots, muscly shots, where you're trying to hit the ball over the heads of the infield until you've gotten your eye in, and until you've got your body weight and your centre of gravity all working. Comes into bowl, left alone outside the off stump. And the other options would have been to get on top of the ball and drive it, or play some sort of directional cut shot, but neither of those happened. And whoa! The ball came back in at the right-hander and just barely missed the off stump. They're definitely getting the ball to move. We've been seeing movement all today. Just a little nippies back towards the right-hander. That's all you need. Now, will he bowl the outswing of this ball? Oh, and he does. That was the right ball to bowl at that moment. Another wicket maiden. It's 72 for 5.